Here's a typical day in the life during study leave revising for my A levels. I wake up around 6:15, 6:30, and I start off my day with a half an hour walk before getting ready for the day. I've got some breakfast here. I've just grabbed a yogurt from the fridge and I'm adding in some nuts and peanut butter to make it slightly more filling. I try to get in a walk/jog every morning before I start studying because my day will be pretty much just sitting down in my seat doing work with occasional breaks here and there. So it's good to get some movement in before the morning before I get started for the day. So I'm taking this to the back of the house where I am now going to do my work. My laptop crashed. I hadn't unfrozen since the day before and my table was a mess. So I sorted that out, got my water, and then I decided which past paper to do. So I got biology, but the Wi-Fi wasn't working either. So I ended up doing maths. I had a maths paper too already printed out. I have a lot of printed out papers that I've kind of just found lying around school, and that has saved me a lot of paper and printing credit because those are just unwanted papers that tend to be in the bins, the paper printer bins. And it's a weird tip, but I do suggest having a look in them during exam time because I have found so many past papers and printed resources and like colored textbook pages and everything in there. So it can be useful. So I started by doing a maths paper and then I had lunch after because my paper took a bit more than 2 hours, probably 3, because maths for me always goes over the time limit and it gets really tricky towards the end. Like the first couple questions are fine and then I end up struggling and then procrastinating and then just taking long because it's hard. But I got a drink, I had some tea, and then after having a break, I went back to my studying. For my second, roughly like 2 hour block, I'm now doing a chemistry paper, and this is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I'm trying to follow the time limit because for me, chemistry as well, I always end up taking more than I should because it's really tight with time, whereas biology, I tend to finish in like an hour and a half with plenty of time to spare. So time management is something that I need to work on, but I did a chemistry paper and then my aim was to do 3 papers in the day, and then once I finished them by the afternoon, I can go through and mark them and go through it. However, I don't always stick to this because doing papers tends to be really draining and tiring of a good 2 hours and a half of intense just work. So it doesn't always work out, but I try my best to stick to it. But that's roughly what a day looks like.